Hi everyone! Today we're going to learn about all of the needs and requirements that a plant has to grow. Now before we talk about plants, let's talk about other living organisms. What do they need to grow? Let's talk about us. We're a living organism. What do we need to grow? Well, we need food, we need water, we need space to live, we need air to breathe, we need home or habitat so that we could live in. Do plants have the same requirements, or are their requirements different than us? Last time we had some seeds, and we learned that if you take some seeds and you give them a little bit of water, then they can sprout. They are dormant, but once you give them a little bit of water, then they start to sprout and they are no longer dormant. Hope you guys had fun sprouting your different seeds. I got to see some of your seeds that you sprouted. Would love to see more. If you have them, send them. What I have here are my corn seeds that have sprouted. For today's experiment, what you're going to need are the seeds from last time that you have sprouted already. You're going to need 5 cups. Any kind of cup or container will work. It could be plastic, it could be paper, it could even be an old yogurt container that you no longer have used and you've washed out. You're going to need some water. You're going to need a little bit of soil and some sand. If you don't have sand, that's okay. Think about something else, maybe some rocks or pebbles or gravel or any other substance. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about what do plants need to survive? What do they need to grow? What you're going to do is take out your 5 cups, and we're going to have, in each of these cups, we're going to give the seeds all the things they need to grow except for one, to see can they grow without that one thing. Some of the things that plants need to grow, we can guess maybe water could be one of them. What else can you think of? Well, you look behind me, it's a sunny day. Do plants need sun to grow? Let's see. Do you think that they need soil to grow, or can they grow without the soil? Do they need anything at all to grow? We'll do that investigation and we'll find out. First thing you're going to do is you're going to take your soil and you're going to take a small amount, maybe about 2 scoopfuls. Put it in the first cup. Another 2 scoops in the second cup. Then you're going to add another 3 scoops into the third cup. The 4th cup is not going to get soil, but it's going to get some sand. I'm going to pour some sand in there, about the same amount. And then the last cup is going to be the negative control. It's not going to get anything. Let's see what happens if we give our seed nothing, if we give our plant nothing. Will it grow? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take a seed. And remember, we have the side with the sprout and the side with the roots. And you're going to take it and you're going to kind of plant it. We'll put one in here, one in the second cup, one in the third, one in the fourth, and one in the 5th. And you can use a fork, a spoon, your finger, a popsicle stick. What you want to do is bury the seed and bury the root in each of these containers. So what you want to do is make sure that the root is buried and the seed is buried. Perfect. On to the second one. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to give the cups water. We're going to give all of them water except for one. Before we get confused, let's start labeling our cups too. So you're gonna need some construction paper and some tape, and the first cup is going to get soil, it's going to get sun, but it's not going to get any water. So I'm going to label this no water. My second cup is going to get no sun. Then my fourth cup is going to get no soil. And my last cup is going to get nothing. Now you may ask, this cup doesn't have a label. Well, this cup isn't missing anything. It has everything. I'm going to give it sun, I'm going to give it soil, and I'm going to give it water. So now let's see what we have next. We have a cup of water and we have a syringe. You may have a pipette that you want to use. Now, if you don't have these, again, no worries. What I want to give is each cup is going to get 10 milliliters of water. I'm going to take 10 milliliters and I'm going to show you what 10 milliliters is going to look like. Not a lot of water, just a little bit. So I'm going to take 10. Do I give it to the first cup that says no water? Nope, this one doesn't get any. This one that has no sun, will this get water? Yes. So I'm going to add 10 milliliters of water. My next cup, will this get water? Sure, this cup has everything, right? It's going to get soil, sun, and water. So we'll put that in there. Pull up another 10. Will this cup get water? Well, it says no soil, so should it get water? Sure, the only thing it's missing is soil. Gonna give it water. Now, if you don't have sand, put something else in here. Rocks, pebbles, gravel, even if you have old newspapers, try it. Anything that's not soil, right? Shredded paper, try it, see what works. And then the last one, that's nothing. Does it get water? No, right? It doesn't get anything. Now, what I'm going to do is leave these cups for about 5 days. Now I'm going to put this one, I'm going to store it in the sun. This cup, I'm going to hold back for a second. This one stays in the sun, and so does this. These two cups that get no sun, you're going to have to find a nice place for them to stay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an old Amazon box. Now you can use a shoebox, or you can use just the inside of your closet or cabinet, under your bed, wherever you think is a good place. And I have it sealed, and I'm going to keep this in a nice dark place. And I'm going to just keep an eye on my plants, making sure to water them every other day. So I'm going to give it 10 milliliters, another 10 milliliters in 2 days to each of these cups. This one will not get water. This one will, and this one will. And then we'll find out which ones grow and which ones don't. What do you think? Can you make a hypothesis? Now that you have all 5 cups assembled, I would love for you guys to get a piece of paper and make a hypothesis. Make a guess. Just think. I wonder what's going to happen to these 5 cups. Is there a seed that's going to continue to grow? Is it going to grow like the others, or is it going to be different? What is it going to look like? What's going to happen? Make sure to make that guess. You can use words or pictures, whatever you like. We'll come back in 5 days and we'll visit our seeds and see which ones grew and which ones didn't. And remember, the question we're trying to answer is, what do seeds really need to grow? Now, if you're ready to make your hypothesis, you can take out a sheet of paper and make 5 rows like I have here, or 5 columns. The first column is going to represent our first cup, which had no soil. The second column is going to represent the cup that had no water. The third column is going to represent the cup that had no sun. The fourth column, there's nothing written here. Did I forget? I didn't forget, right? This is the cup that had everything. It had soil, sun, and water. And the last cup is the cup that had nothing in it. Now what I want you to do is in each of these columns, draw a picture of what you think the plants are going to look like. Now remember, this is just a hypothesis. This is just your guess. This is just what you think. Is it what really happened or what's really going to happen? Maybe. But it also may be different than what really happens, and that's okay. Remember, scientists always make a hypothesis. This is a good time to pause in the video and go ahead and make your hypothesis. Here's a look at my hypothesis. This is what I thought was going to happen. Where you see there was nothing, I thought that my seed is gonna still stay there. It's not gonna go anywhere. That little root that it had is gonna stay there. But I thought that there would be no growth, so I didn't draw anything. In the cup that had everything, my prediction is that the seed is still there, but more roots started to grow. And I see a green stem, and I see green leaves, and I see nice, healthy growth. My prediction when there was no sun, I thought that again, there would be no growth. I know that plants and trees need sun to grow, so I didn't think anything would grow here. Where there was no water, again, I thought that there would be no growth. I know that all living organisms need water, so nothing would grow. This is the one that I wasn't sure about. So I just had to take a guess where there was no soil. We had sand instead. So I guessed that, again, nothing was going to grow. I wasn't sure. Would it grow? Would it not? So I just took my best guess. Again, remember when you're making a hypothesis, when you're drawing, using labels like I have here, always a great idea. And if you're not sure what the picture looks like, the labels really help. Here, this is the way I drew sand. You may have rocks or pebbles or newspaper or whatever it is that you have. Make sure you label it properly. Now, let's take a look and see what really did happen. Now, let's take a look at our results and see what really did happen, right? This is no longer a guess. This is our result. This is our observation. The first cup is the cup that had everything. There was soil, there was water, and there was sun. What do you notice? Is there growth? Yes. Are there leaves? Yes. Is there a stem? Yes. Was my hypothesis correct? Was it accurate? Yes, it was. It's growing and it's looking like it's a nice, healthy beginning to a plant. And that's just great. Is that what we expected? It is, because we gave it all of the requirements it needed. All of these variables that we tested, we gave them all, and this one did grow. Let's see the next one. Let's look at no soil. See what happened with the one there was no soil. Remember, I planted sand here. I planted the seeds inside of sand, and what happened here? Oops. Do you see growth? Well, not as nice as the one in the soil, but there is a little something. Do you guys see that white over there? Looks like there is something growing, but this has only been 5 days post-experiment, so maybe we need to leave it a little bit longer. Is this exactly what my hypothesis thought it would be? No, a little bit different. So we'll put that to the side. What about no water? Did I think this one was gonna grow? I didn't. I did not think anything was gonna grow. And look, wow, there's nothing there. My hypothesis was right here. There is no growth at all. Put that to the side. And now let's go back to my 2 cups. One of them that had nothing. Let's see what happened here. Well, nothing happened, right? It's just a seed. And now there's a dried up root in there. So nothing happened here. And this is what I expected. Let's put that to the side. And now finally, let's take out the cup that had no sun. And let's see what happened here. Wow. Is that what I expected? No, not at all. Look at that. There is growth. There was no sun, but it did grow. Did it grow just like the other cup that had everything? Well, let's do a side by side. See if we can see them. What do you notice? Is this one is the one with no sun as green as the other one? Doesn't look like it. Looks a little bit more yellow. Do I have leaves? Nope, no leaves on this one. It's starting to grow, it's trying to grow, but it's just not there. So it is growing, but does it look as healthy as the one that had the sun? Certainly not. The other thing I do notice is the plant is a little bit taller. It did get taller, and that's a little bit surprising too. And we'll talk about why that happened. Now, our observations may not be what we expected. Is that okay? Absolutely. But what you need to do now is record your observations. So you're going to take out a similar sheet like we had before. And you're going to now record your observations. And that's what really happened. So go ahead, in each of these charts, draw what really happened. And remember, we love labels. Use as many labels as you like. If you have crayons, you can color them in. If not, words are fine. Whatever you can do would be great. Well, that was a lot of fun. We started out with seeds that were dormant, that were just hanging around in our pantries, and we put them in a plastic bag, gave them a little bit of water, and we woke them up, right? They started to sprout and they started to grow roots. And then we took those sprouted seeds and we transplanted them to see what do plants really need to grow? Well, let's talk about this. The one that got nothing, this was easy, right? Is it going to grow? No, it didn't get anything. There was no sun, there was no water, there was no soil. So all we have left is the same sprouted seed with dried up root. The one that had no water. Was this one going to grow? No. I knew that. I wasn't confused about this one. I knew that all living organisms need water to grow. So is it surprising that this didn't grow? No, it's not surprising. Not to me, because living organisms need water to grow. What about the one with no soil? Was this surprising? Well, I was confused. I didn't know. I wasn't sure. Is it going to grow or not? And it did grow a little bit. Can plants live outside of the soil? Well, yes, they can. There are some plants that can grow in water. There are some plants that can grow in sand. There are some plants that actually can grow in air if they have the right living conditions, right? Is the corn seed meant for the sand? Probably not, right? It's not doing a great job. It's trying to grow. It's not doing well in there. Which one was the one that was the most surprising? Let's talk about the one that was no sun. I'm gonna take the label off for a minute. Put it here. Now the one without the sun, I didn't think it was going to grow. Did it grow? it did grow, right? Did it grow as well as the one with sun? No. You guys may not be able to see well from this far, but it's very, very white, almost yellow, as opposed to the one with sun, which is nice and green. It didn't grow as well. It did grow, but not as well. Let's talk about why. Why did this one not grow as well? Why doesn't it look as healthy? And why is it that it's not green? Well, there's a process called photosynthesis. Can you guys all say that? Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process where plants take energy from the sun, carbon dioxide from the air, and water from the soil, the water that we've given it, and they actually create their own food through this process. Now remember, did we give any of these cups food? We didn't. Why? Because plants make their own food through this process called photosynthesis. They actually make sugars, and those sugars travel up through the entire part of the plant so the plant can use it and become nice and healthy like this one is. Was this one able to do photosynthesis? No. Will it continue to grow and be healthy like this one? No. We only did this experiment for 5 days, but you guys can continue to leave these for longer and see what happens. Keep testing it, leave it for, 10 days. Let's talk about this one for a second. The one that had the soil, that had the sun and the water, was actually able to grow the best. Now I said that plants can make food for themselves. But do you know who else they make food for? For us, right? For humans, for animals, for all the other consumers that will eat plants. Pretty cool, huh? Now I can't wait to see your experiments. Good luck trying this.